boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Alvin. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. We're going to bring in Alvin Kamara and listen to what he had to say on today's press conference. Here we go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good moving forward. Obviously, I know he's probably the hardest on himself about last week, just those 2 interceptions, and he's fighting way harder than anybody, coaches and all of us, to get that corrected. But he's a competitor. Same thing, like I was talking about with Jameis. Both of them compete, and I mean they want to be the best that they can be, so we can be the best that we can be on Sunday.
You've talked a lot, like over the last couple of years, about knowing how the offense is supposed to feel and what it's supposed to look like. Are you guys getting closer to that this year than you have been maybe at any point the last couple of years?
I think so. I think, and I kind of said it in the locker room, and I saw that was kind of a thing. But I think it's just, the years we've been good, it's been like a certain swag and a certain confidence, about the offense. Like even when we were down, it was never that like we were looking at the score. It was like, all right, well, let's go, let's play football. It wasn't a score thing. It wasn't like what the other team was doing thing. It's like, let's go out, execute, and we're gonna like the result. And I feel like, just honestly, I feel like we haven't really been playing like that. It's been like it's just a little bit of a panic, a little bit of a like, oh, we down, like, and we don't play like that. I still don't have that mentality. So, I think I saw something about like somebody talking about like my body language like that. I'm just, I'm always analyzing, always trying to stay 10 steps ahead in the game. So, a blank look for me is not frustration. It's more so like, what can we do? What's next? What can we do to put ourselves in position to win, or put ourselves in position to sustain the drive, or what can we do to eliminate the mistakes that have been going on? So that's really what my temperament is, my demeanor is. It's never a frustration. Shoot, I mean, what do I got? I don't got nothing to be frustrated for. I'm healthy, blessed. I'm on the side. I'm playing football on a Sunday.
Well, listen, I'm happy that you're playing football on the Sunday. I'm glad that you feel like, well, actually, I'm not glad or relieved that you're not feeling frustrated. The team is 2-5, sir. What do you have to feel frustrated and upset about? Your team is 2-5. You're disgracing the Who Dat Nation. You're losing to the Carolina Panthers. Really, Alvin Kamara has been the antithesis of the best player on the team. I mean, he had the 2 fumbles. You can knock him for that early on. But outside of that, everything has went through him. He's been probably one of the few bright spots that we've had offensively speaking. This has been AK-41. But to answer your question, because that actually is throwing a question out there, be it theoretical or otherwise, is you're 2-5. You're 2-5, sir. You're 2-5, and right now the team is a disgrace to the Who Dat Nation, because this team last year was a couple of games away from a playoff spot, and how did it go so wrong so fast? So that's why a lot of the Who Dats out there are saying, what the hell is going on? Anyway, let's continue on.
You know what I'm saying? I've been playing this game since I was a kid, so definitely blessed to be out there. But, it's more so I think just trying to find a way me just analyzing and trying to find a way to get us back to, you know, what we're used to. And I mean, even when we up, shoot, I still look like that. So it's not even, I don't know. I try not to read into it.
Well, I hear what he's saying, but this is the thing also. He got frustrated and just started going off on the team about why they were looking the way they were looking. And I can hear what he's saying now, but that wasn't the case then. That he was showing some frustration because the man's a winner. He won every way he went. And the mentality of Kamara and a lot of the family members that that play for the Saints are the same way. They're winners. And listen, losing frustrates people. When you're losing and you're not gaining, it does frustrate you to a degree. And the frustration is something that God gave you so that you can get it right. So that you don't sit and mire and marinate in it. You find out what the answer is and you move forward. That's just not football, but that's just in life, period. Anything that frustrates you, it's not an evil energy. A frustration energy is meant to propel you to find out what's wrong and get on the plus side of that thing. We always supposed to be people that's the majority of the time you live in, you're supposed to be succeeding the majority of the time. Anyway, let's finish up with Mr. Kamara.
Stuff like that too much.
And you use lead by example, but why was it important for you to talk to the team?
Cause it's annoying. I'm sick of it. Like I'm not used to losing. Like I'm not.
Okay, so you don't got nothing to feel frustrated by. And then the reporter asked him the question. Then why were you like that at the end of the game? Because I was frustrated. Okay, I'm a little bit of confusion right there. Well, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? You don't read my face. I'm cool. I'm calm. I'm collected. And then the reporter said, well, why you was up bucking and that? Well, because I was frustrated. I'm used to winning. Oh, okay. I got you. Okay. Let's keep going.
Nothing in life, when it comes to me, I think personally, it says loser. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always overcome and climbed out and clawed my way and fought my way to be on top of any situation, any obstacle that has been put in front of me. So, like even though we've had all these self-inflicted things and these injuries and all that, I still feel like we can overcome. So when I feel like, we might not be putting our best foot forward to do that, that's when I get frustrated. And that's when I'm like, all right, well, shoot,
what you got to be frustrated for? You playing football, you living your life.
People got to say. So I felt like, I had to say something, and, I'll be the first one. Like what I said, it wasn't me talking at people. It was like, shoot, hold me accountable too. Like if you don't see me with that swag and that energy and that pride that I'm talking about, then tell me and call me out, because I'm going to do the same thing to everybody on the field, because I know what it takes to be what we want to be. You know what I'm saying? Because, the past 6 years, this is my 6th year, we've been good. You know what I'm saying? And we've been able to overcome, and we've been able to be top offense in the league in these past couple of years. So that's what I want to get back to. And, just saying that, I feel like it kind of opened some eyes. And dudes know, people know, but sometimes, you need a little wake up.
When we tweet this or share it, people are going to say, well, they had Drew then. Do you guys have the pieces to?
We said we got
the
pieces.
Don't bring Drew Brees into this stuff.
9 was 9. Everybody know what 9 was to
2
this
years
team,
ago.
Good
Lord, man.
He's gone. I'm going to be gone at some point. DA's going to be gone at some point. Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis is going to be gone at some point. It don't mean that football stops for New Orleans Saints. It's going to keep going. So, every year it's going to be an evolution. You got new leaders arise. There's going to be some old leaders. Like, I'm still here, Cam's still here. But when I leave, like, it's going to be somebody else that's going to step up. So, just because 9 isn't here, it don't really mean nothing. A lot of people say that, like, oh, well, 9 and Sean Payton, and they gone. Like, shoot, I saw 9 in the locker room. I said, what's up to him? But he wasn't sweating. He looked good. Look good and healthy, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking off tape, bleeding, and we did that before. I did that with 9 before, but he's not in there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. So the people in this locker room are the ones that got to step up and lead and will this team to do what we want to do.
Exactly, man. Come on, man. Stop Drew been gone for 2 years and he got reported. We got number 9, man. Shut up. Man, been gone for 2 years, man. 2 years. And when he left, he was 100. Damn.
That message resonated when you talked to the players.
That's a long ass mic. What is that?
Yeah,
I like that. But I think it did. I think it's all this stuff we know. In the profession that we're in, we know what's bad and what's good, what's right and what's not. And sometimes it's kind of like when it goes. It's noticed, but when nobody speaks on it, it kind of just gets like swept under the rug. Even if it's little, like jumping off sides in practice, it happens in the game. So then you look back and you're like, oh, it was happening all week in practice and nobody said nothing. So that's where I'm at. I'm like, I focus on little things. So I think about, I try not to like super and like be like micromanaging so many things, but like I think about that when stuff like that happens in the game. Like, oh well, this happened, and it's been happening consistently. So when it gets to the game and it happens, it's like nobody checked anybody for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay in the game, and it's happening. We've gotten better. You know what I'm saying? But I think it does resonate when somebody like speaks up. So I'll be trying to say what I got to say.
And with Mike T and Jarvis being out consecutive weeks, obviously injuries are part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like getting reps with the guys who are available over consecutive weeks makes y'all even more ready for this week, especially with the mini bye week?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's huge. I mean, just getting the reps with the guys that are in. You know, Jarvis and Mike, they fighting to get back. I mean, you have, like you said, you have injuries. It's football. It happens. Those guys that got to step up, they got to step up in a big way and be ready every week. And I think the guys that, you know, have been doing that have been doing a good job. And I mean, this week again, you know, we're still hurt, banged up, but you know, the preparation is there, and those guys are still doing their jobs. They got to.
Alvin, it's weird to be 2-5 and still have everything
Very,
right in front of you.
very.
Like, you know, you're only a game back, and like, it's not like all.
It's really weird. I still, you know, like kind of my message in the locker room, like, you know, we got to get our swag, and this what better time, you know. Everything is still in front of us. We're a game out. I think we find a way to kind of get that pride and that swag back and hit our stride at the right time. You know, everything is still in front of us, and then get healthy at the right time. And you know, coming off this little break of having a couple days to get some guys, you know, ahead in where they are recovery wise, and you know, the guys that are playing, just give them a little time to, you know, get their bodies back and get their legs back under them. I mean, everything we want is still in front of us.
Come on.
I think it's just, you know, realizing what we are, what we want to be, and being there.
Indeed. Listen, the Saints have the horses on this club, man. They got enough veteran leadership. If anybody is capable of turning the season around, shout out to your brother Thomas. He says, Q, you think Jameis should have went to Indy because the writing was on the wall before the season started. They didn't really want him. Thank you for that. Shout out to Carter1431 as well for hitting the subscribe button. Appreciate you guys. And shout out to the entire Who Dat Nation, the Great Saint Think Tank. Appreciate all of y'all chiming in on this episode of the Coma. I won't keep you guys for very long on this Wednesday stream. A few news notes and items we're going to go over with you. First and foremost, once again, shout out to brother Thomas for the super chat and about Jameis. Well, I mean, Jameis came back to the Saints because he felt this was the place for him to be. And I don't think it was a bad call insofar as him making a call to come back here. He was rehabbing to get healthy, and then things kind of went awry. He got injured in the games. He got kind of hurt in the Atlanta game. He got hurt again in the Tampa Bay game. And then when you plan and you're hurt like that, and really I thought the Saints should have set Jameis Winston down when he started getting these new injuries during the season and during the regular season. They shouldn't have tried to let him play through some of those injuries. They should have had a little bit more diligence and a little bit more, you know, discernment to be able to say, we're going to pull this guy and sit him down for the best goods. Because Andy Dalton, I don't forget this. Andy Dalton was brought in as an insurance policy. So was Jarvis Landry. And Jarvis Landry was an insurance policy for Michael Thomas because Mike was rehabbing. Same with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton was an insurance policy for Jameis Winston if Jameis had a setback in his injury. Well, guess what? He had a bit of a setback. He got new injury that occurred with him, and Andy Dalton fulfilled his insurance policy. He's feeling that he's stepping up and playing while Jameis rehabs. And the same thing with Jarvis was supposed to be that for Mike when Jarvis goes down. But this is why some of these guys were brought in for insurance policies for the guys ahead of them on the rotation. So it is that part of the game is fulfilled. But I think Jameis felt like he was doing the right thing. This wasn't his first year here. He was here. It had been his third year coming back to the black and gold. He enjoyed the experience, and I think he feels like he made the best decision. Now, it's a tough call right now. We're looking at the Saints and saying the Saints are 2-5. But listen, if anybody, family, if anybody is capable of turning this stuff around, it's Alvin Kamara, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan. I have not lost faith in these guys. I haven't. even though I'm highly upset and pissed that I don't like how they've been playing, because that's well below our standard of football in the black and gold nation. You know, we expect you to represent and handle your business. We won't be mad at you if you losing games and you giving it everything you got. I won't be mad at you for that. We won't be mad at you. We would be welcoming you out in the rain, and you coming back off the flight from somewhere and it's pouring down rain and we lining up the street cheering you. We do that here. You play for us, we'll represent for you. That's how we do it. So I have not lost faith in the team. I think a lot of things have to change for this team for them to start experiencing success, and that's one game at a time. Even though Dennis Allen, this is his first time being a head coach in a long time, I think it's up to a lot of our experienced players to step up and take more onus from whatever position groups they come from, to kind of help guide the day, to kind of lift the spirits of the team and allow people to understand, listen, we've been through these things. Let's galvanize together and let's move on and do some stuff. That's why I was looking for player only meetings and all this kind of stuff. These guys need to do what they got to do. Now, the Saints, in all this time, they haven't played since last Thursday. It's almost Thursday again, and we haven't seen any big moves. And that's because, in part, we still got the trade deadline on the way. But are you really expecting the Saints to make a big move here? I don't know. I mean, one move that I would recommend to the brass at the Saints is to look at Malcolm Brown. I mean, look at bringing him back. Malcolm Brown's still the big defensive tackle, not the running back, but the big defensive tackle that used to play for the Saints is available. Maybe you can come in, bring him on a cheap deal. The Saints have a couple of million over the cap, according to Sport Track. Maybe the Saints can bring him back on a cheap deal and have him to help out in the interior defensive line. And everything else the Saints can work with from within the team, to be honest with you. And I've said it like, well, Q, you really think that way? Yeah, the Saints almost beat the Bengals. The Bengals had all of their weapons. They had all of their weapons, and the Saints had the back of the backup wide receivers and the backup quarterback, and almost won that game. It was supposed to be a blowout had Dalton hit Rashid Shaheed on that route. When he would have smoked that guy to the end zone, he threw outside, Rashid was running inside, and then Dalton hit another wide receiver in the same game, threw it to him low in the end zone, too low at his feet, and he couldn't haul the ball in. If those were better throws, that'd have been 2 touchdowns on top, we'd have blown them out. And that's the Cincinnati Bengals with all their people. So I look at the games and I recognize that a lot of times it's not the teams blowing the Saints out. It's the Saints keeping these teams in the game because they turning the ball over or they doing some low IQ play. And Alvin Kamara talked about it in this interview that we just played, that he'll witness false starting happen in practice and nobody saying nothing. He said that. Kamara said that. So I'm like, how is false starting happen in practice and they not calling that out? Even if that's not Dennis Allen saying something, where's the offensive line coach at? Where he's like, well, you see it in practice. No. If they false starting in practice, you get up on their ass for that. Pause. You get what I'm saying? They got to be a penalty for false starting, because that's totally on the player. You're not doing what you're supposed to do, because that's not supposed to happen like that. But in the end, about the Jameis Winston question, I think Jameis made the right decision with the New Orleans Saints to come back here. Nobody from the Who Dat Nation foresee the Saints team looking this disheveled. Some of the guys that they brought in, like the biggest surprise to me is not even the offensive player, it's a defensive player by the name of Tyrann Mathieu. That is the biggest question mark that I have, is like, how do he look? How does Tyrann Mathieu, as great as he is, how does he look that poor? Even if you say he misses a step or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, he still should be one of them guys in position to knock your head off or to see things happen. The game, it just don't look right. When you see him on tape, it just look like he guessing at everything. It don't look right. And I'm like, who is that guy? Was he abducted by the pod people? Did the body snatchers snatch Tyrann Mathieu out there? Because he's simply not there. But man, I tell you, man, I still have faith in this team to turn it around, man. I still have faith in this team to turn it around. Now, do I have faith in Dennis Allen? I have faith in the team. Let's just say that. Dennis Allen has not inspired a lot of confidence in me. I don't like a lot of stuff that he's doing. In particular, I didn't like the fact that he gave guys days off after the loss to the Arizona Cardinals. I did not like that. I thought that was the bad optics. You don't give guys time off for being bad. They should have, even if they weren't practicing per se physically, they could have been in the room looking at tape, studying film, going over plays and what they were supposed to do. They could have been doing that in the 2 or 3 days that they were supposed to be off. No, you don't need no physical context, but there should have been some studying of plays and looking at film, looking at the all 22 to see what guys were missing on, and so they can correct that for this next upcoming matchup, because the Saints have to put together a string of wins to be competitive. They're 2-5 and 3 games in a hole themselves and getting back to 500. The next 3 games, if played right, could get them there. The Raiders are not a world-beaten team, but most teams that aren't world-beaten teams seem to beat the Saints. Well, let's say that they beat the Saints and the Saints beat the Saints. See, the Saints are playing against the referees, the team that they playing, and themselves. There's no way. You can't beat all 3. You can't beat the referees. You can't beat the other team you playing, and you can't win against yourself when you are self-sabotaging and helping your opponent beat you. So the Saints will have to stop turning the ball over, and they're going to have to make some tackles, and they're going to have to ratchet up their level of intensity, defensively speaking, because it has to happen from the defensive side of the ball to carry through the team. So I've not thrown away the season after, what is it? They're 2-5 after 7 damn weeks. It's too much football left to go in the season. And I've seen teams turn their seasons around, man, 1 game at a time. My team, the Saints, have enough talent to do that, and they will get some of their guys back to help out. But I'm really encouraged about a lot of our young guys. The player about like Rashid Shaheed, who came off the practice squad and scored 2 touchdowns in back-to-back games. You know, that is promising. That shows that the Saints know what they're doing and looking for talent. You know, so a few tweaks here or there, and we should be fine. The Saints have to stop the running, people gashing on them up the middle. And like I've said, I think to a degree, the Saints have been found out. And I think Pete Carroll was one of the people responsible for showing the NFL how to beat the Saints. Meaning you see teams line up in the shotgun and operate their offenses from the shotgun against the Saints. You know, and that has been, the Saints have not had a steady and consistent answer for stopping that approach, and they were able to run and pass out of that. So say Cincinnati, so said Seattle, and Arizona helped do some of that as well. You can see it's a copycat league. So also expect when you have a team like the Raiders to do similar things as well. If it worked for those guys, it'll work for us. Saints have to stop that. And it starts with attitude. Tackling takes attitude. And it takes attitude. You have to play. You can't be, I'm not saying be over emotional, but you got to use the aggression and the frustration you have and channel it into something positive to make you get up off your ass and play smarter and execute and make tackles. So that's what's going on. The team, looks, and I'm going to tell the team straight up, and I know a lot of the players watch the Sports Coma. The reality is the Great Saint Think Tank and the Who Dat Nation have not lost faith in you guys. But what we're upset about is we know that stop worrying about what we about all of the flack you hear, because you deserve everything you get. So number one, stop trying to sit up here and defend back from it. Or with these people saying, well, not all of them, because a lot of them crazy, but all the real ones, the diehards talking that real stuff. Are they telling you need to tackle better? You can't dispute that. There's film to back that up when I tell you to tackle better. Stop taking poor angles. Stop false starting. Stop all this random nonsense and stuff like that. I mean, you could put the tape on and find out. So if they're serious about it, they do have the people to make the turnaround. So only time will tell, fam, but it's still seven goddamn weeks. There's way too much football left in the season right now. I mean, so I have not lost faith in this team, man. We just bit the points disappointed. All right. So shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all, man, for being up in this thing. KB says, Big Q, how long is our sentence with the NFL? When will we get a game call in our favor? No, you won't. You know, home cooking. Remember, I kept telling y'all that for years. I told y'all about home cooking, that there was a such thing as home cooking. No, you don't get no cooking. You know, the kitchen is closed for you on Sundays. You got to order out. You won't get that. You don't get any of that. No home cooking for you. These referees come in here and you got to beat the referees and the team. That's what you have to do. And it's easy, man. We just can't beat ourselves in the process while we beating those other guys, man. I mean, the Saints have been in every last one of these games. If they don't turn the freaking ball over and they have serious, consistent drives where they stop in the offenses, we should be fine. The Saints have found the running attack. So they found the identity in through the crisis. The running attack is an elite level rushing unit. They have to be able to lean on their running attack. We got a really good offensive line that blocks well in terms of blocking, run blocking. We got to lean on that. We got to lean on that. The defense has to elevate and they have to stop it. The Saints have found a bit of a identity with running the ball, and Carmichael needs to get better with his calls at certain times. He has to be able to get those guys that are impactful, like Alvin and Taysom Hill and Rashid Shaheed, in the moments of the game when it counts, and stop letting Andy Dalton be the guy that you want to win the game, because he ain't the one that's going to win you no games. He's simply a game manager that is set to help you get in the game. The guy that breaks open the game is a Taysom Hill or Alvin Kamara or one of our big playmakers. Dalton's just a placeholder, and asking him to do the rest of that stuff, maybe one game here or there, but the majority of the time, like the Saints try to do on the back end of a couple of these other games that didn't work out well, and they just let Dalton stay out there. That ain't what he's supposed to be there for, man. That's not what he out there for. But anyway, fam, hit the like button for me. Please feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to share the show's links on your social media feed as we up in this thing, man. Shout out to my Facebook family that's tuning in. Shout out to the fam and a bunch of family members listening on Facebook. Thomas Harris, Hadley Kelvin, Derek Dolis, Thomas Harris, and the rest of the family members. Appreciate y'all as well. And once again, shout out to Carter 1431 for hitting the subscribe button. So with that being said, let me get one more comment, then I'm gonna get on these articles and we're gonna keep it going. What's up, brother Donald? Good to see brother Donald in the building. Shout out to you, fam. All right. Philly says, Fat Q, you got to be a complete player to be successful. Got to make those tackles. Indeed, bro. That's fundamental. People can't buck against fundamental football, bro. You make your tackles. You don't false start. You don't turn the ball over. You get turnovers. You don't turn it over. And like I've said in previous streams, not as kind or gentle as I'm saying it now, but the Saints are exhibiting a lot of low IQ football right now. You taking bad angles, missing tackles, and then of course not only low IQ football, but also missing low heart football. Low IQ football and low heart football. A lot of times, if you a guy that really want this game and you got to wrestle that game away from that other team that's playing really hard, you're going to have to step up and you're going to have to get that heart involved and that brain involved. And when we play like that, we cannot be beat. So we have to kind of galvanize together and wake up those two things, the heart, and feed off the crowd. The next two games is in the Superdome. The Saints are 1-3 in the Superdome. Well, not 1-3 in the dome, but in the home venue, because they also had a home venue in the London game against the Minnesota Vikings, and we lost in that contest. So, but 1-3 in home venues, the Saints are. So the Saints have to start right there over the next two games, which will be against the Raiders and the Ravens. We have to be able to galvanize and crystallize in this building. We have to start here by winning the next two games in our building, in the dome, make the dome our home again. That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let's get on up into this thing, fam. Let's get on up into the first one. And the name of the show is called Saints to start Andy Dalton over healthy Jameis Winston. This is several different media operations bust this news. This is from CBS, of course. New Orleans is sticking with Dalton under center. On Wednesday, the Saints head coach Dennis Allen announced that Dalton will start at quarterback this Sunday when the Saints host the Raiders. Allen said Winston is healthy. Now, this is what Nick Underhill said, and that this is an offensive decision, quote unquote, based on how the team has moved the ball in the previous week. So very curious that Dennis Allen's saying, hey, Jameis is healthy enough to play football, but I'm going to go with the backup. Remember when we had Solomon Wilcox on, family? Shout out to Solomon, man. He came on to talk about the recap of the Cincinnati Bengals matchup. And he talked about, he said, you know what, Q? He said, you better watch out. He was telling me that off show when I was asking him about Andy Dalton, because he have his own podcast there, him and Pac-Man. And he's a former Cincinnati Bengal player himself, so he's followed the Bengals for a very long time. He knew about the ins and outs of Andy Dalton, and he was kind of schooling me offshore about that. And I had to stop him mid stream of talking. We was in the pre-show, and I had to say, hold on here, Brother Solomon, I got to stop you right now. I said, you giving away all this good game on Dalton, and ain't nobody hearing it except for me and you. So I just said, hold on here. We're going to hit this record button. We about to get it popping. He laughed, and then he said, okay, well, I'm ready. And then, of course, later on, we went to our spiel, and then we got to the part, and he talked about Andy Dalton. And he said, this was when you can go back and listen to the Solomon Wilcox show, and you can hear Solomon break that down and talk about saying, hey, you better watch out, because Dalton might be coming for Winston's job. And I kind of, you can look on my face. I was like, but in the end, Solomon Wilcox, man, he knew something. He had dropped it on the show, man. That shout out for Solomon for saying that. All right. So Dalton has started the previous 4 contests for the Saints. The 34-year-old has gone 1-3, but has thrown 7 touchdowns compared to 4 interceptions while averaging 236.5 yards per game. The Saints are coming off a 42-34 loss to the Cardinals on Thursday Night Football, in which Dalton threw a season-high 361 yards, a lot of that in trash time, 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes in there. Now, if Jameis Winston would did that, man, you would have found a safe place in the entire state of Louisiana for him to hide at. Everybody, you would have found a safe place for him to go to. He'd have been destroyed by Jameis detractors alike. I mean, but Dalton can make it there. While Coach Allen maintains Winston is healthy, the former #1 overall pick reportedly suffered multiple fractures in his back over a month early on Wednesday. And then Nick reported that Winston is actually 100% healthy. I don't know how true that is for him to be healthy that fast after having 4 fractures on your back. And it took a month and a week to heal. What they have down there at the Saints building? Sensu beans? What the hell they have? What's going on down there? In Winston's 3 starts, he went 1-2 and threw for 4 touchdowns compared to 5 interceptions while averaging 286 per game. It became clear week 1 that Winston was not healthy due to the back issue, and New Orleans made the switch to Dalton. The Saints are 2-5 in last place in the NFC South, but currently have what is statistically the #3 overall offense in the league, as the unit records an average of almost 399 yards per game. All fool's gold. Fool's gold, because that don't mean nothing if it ain't equating into the main stat that mean everything, the super stat of them all, which is wins. The truth of the matter is, man, and shout out to DC, he sent this to me. It's like, it's what you call it. It's a bad comparison. In other words, for people say, yeah, they go with Dalton over Jameis. I call it a false comparison. That's a false comparison. Well, how you say that, Q? Why you say that? Because you can't compare a broken up, injured ass quarterback against a healthy quarterback with no ailments. You know, that's a false comparison. Now, if they were healthy, both of them were healthy and they were going head to head and these numbers stuck out, that's one thing. But this guy was all broken up to hell. And really, they should have set him down. Now, DC sent me some stuff from Jameis Winston, or from stuff on Jameis Winston. And of course, and this is, he's tweeted at me about what Nick Underhill was saying about this. And this is what Nick, as you can see, is time stamped as well. That some background on Jameis has been dealing with. He suffered a ruptured peroneal tendon in his foot against the Buccaneers, according to multiple sources, and went back into the game. Man had a ruptured tendon. And then they put him back in the game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember, he got hurt he got his back issue, got busted up with the back issue in the Falcons game. Then he ruptured a tendon and then went back into the contest against Tampa. What's going on? And then the funny part about it, all this stuff comes running out weeks later. Now, this ain't nothing new, because this happened. This is with the Saints. This is business as usual in a black and gold building. Remember, several years ago, this happened with Drew Brees. When we found out Drew was all busted up after Contavious Street fell on top of him. Remember that? How did we find out all of the shit that was wrong with Drew Brees? Well, it was his beautiful wife. His wife came out and tweeted some stuff, and people were like, what? Remember that? That's how we found out about that. You know, that's how we social media. That's how we fight. Wasn't from the team. The team was playing. They were keeping that information locked in the box. So this type of like leaky reporting about the injuries and you not knowing exactly what's going on with Mike Thomas, you not knowing the exact timelines on players like Marshawn Lattimore and others, Jarvis Landry, like, well, what the hell is going on with these guys? That's what the Saints do. And under Dennis Allen, that hadn't gotten any better. You know, he wouldn't get all these questions if he would be a little bit more clear in what's going on and give timelines, clearer timelines. People have the right to want to know what's going on with some of these players. So anyway, he said that injury and not the back has been the bigger issue. So according to Nick Underhill, he's saying that ruptured tendon in the foot of Jameis is a bigger issue than his back. So this is just right here, just to put some more information, put some more stank on it, some more pepper or seasoning on that etouffee. Man, it just is crazy. Anyway, let's get into this, family. The Saints wins the injury report against the Raiders. 11 Saints listed. It's going down because it was 14 on the Wednesday injury report. 11 were listed on Wednesday's injury report for the team's Week 8 matchup against the Raiders. Mike Thomas still with the foot issue, DNP'd. Jarvis Landry with that ankle, DNP'd. Troutman, we know about his ankle, DNP'd. Marshawn Lattimore with the abdomen, still DNP'd. What's going on here? What's going on here? See, no clear timelines on any of these guys, and people are left to wonder about what's going on here. No clear timelines on none of these guys. No timelines. And then when you ask him about it, he gives you he needs to work on that. Dennis Allen really needs to work on that, man. And I appreciate, even if he not one of the best coaches and not even close to it, and that he be a little bit more clear of reporting what's going on with some of these players. All right, Andrews Pete was limited. Keith Kirkwood was limited as well. Paulson Adebo, good news to see him back. Ramczyk rest again for Ramczyk. You know, Kelvin Throckmorton with hip. What's going on every time we see Ramczyk posted up on the list as rest? What's going on here? Why is he on the list and it just says rest all the time? Where the rest of the other offensive linemen, why they not getting rest either? What's going on with him needing his rest? I mean, that's just a question I'm asking, because I'm constantly seeing Ramczyk on there and they got rest next to him and he limited. What's going on with Ram? Kelvin Throckmorton with a hip, he fully practiced. Peyton Turner with the chest issue. Good to see Peyton Turner missed several weeks in a row. He's back. And of course, you see Jameis fully practice. Wasn't good enough to sway Dennis Allen. He still had a few more days to make this decision. Why make this decision right now about Jameis Winston? That's another thing I'm asking about. Why make the decision right now on Jameis? Thank you, Giuseppe. Shout out to Giuseppe, man, for hitting that subscribe button. Why make the call, family? You know, throw that in the chat for me. Let's get the Great Saint Think Tank. Let me get their heads twisting and turning, their brains moving and shaking. You guys are some of the smartest and the smartest in the Who Dat Nation, the Great Saint Think Tank of the Who Dat Nation. Let me ask you guys a question. Why make the call on the starting quarterback right now and it's Wednesday? Isn't that a call you don't make until Friday to kind of keep the Raiders off kilter so they have to perform for both of them? Why give that away right now on a Wednesday? You see what I'm saying? Why? You know, why say, okay, it's Wednesday, we gonna start the Andy Dalton? Why? We got a couple more days to see what they look like in practice. Why wait? Why call it right now as opposed to Friday, and at least, you know, so that you don't give them the tip to your hand toward the Raiders? You know, why make that call? That's my thing. When I heard it, I was like, he making the call Wednesday? Goddamn. When is the game? Is the game Friday? No, the game is Saturday, Q, at 12 o'clock in the Superdome. Oh, okay. So why is he making the charge right now? Why not wait until Friday, at the end of Friday afternoon, then said the quarterback is going to be such and such? At least you'll have them guessing on who it is. Why tip your hat so early? I don't understand. See, this is the type of stuff. Now, is Dennis Allen being a bit Machiavellian? Is he, you know what I'm saying? Is he being a bit Machiavellian right here? Is that what's going on? That he says Andy Dalton's going to start, and then when Friday comes, he said, Halloween, I got you. It's going to be Jameis Winston is going to start. You see, is that what he's doing? Is Dennis Allen playing a genius right now? Is that what's going on? You know? I know I'm selling that one, man. I just, I don't get it. I don't understand. Why? Why tell them right now? I don't understand that. Goodness gracious, man. But anyway, that's some of the injuries that's going on. And of course, right now we tipped our hand and let the Raiders know, hey, we're going to have Andy Dalton lining up against you on Sunday. I just don't understand why tip your hat on Wednesday. We appreciate the information because usually, on a Wednesday after first injury report of the week, but I think you could have waited a couple of days. Maybe they look a little different Friday and you might make a better decision. So I don't know, man. That's just shit. But anyway, we're going to see how it all shakes, man. Shout out to the fam, man. What's up, man? Questions here on what you guys think it is. Bad coaching. Emax says bad coaching. LV can strategize for Dalton. Mickey says what's up, Mickey? We wanted to make Dalton feel comfortable, and we also in panic mode with the cleanup, man. Okay, all right. What's up, BB King? He says Bear been saying Dalton was playing better than Winston in camp. He was supposedly healthy too. That's that. Okay. Carlito says they're saying Winston is having problems reading the defense. All right, but Dalton's not. He's staring wide receivers down. That's how he got in trouble with them interceptions, the one in the end zone and one of the pick sixes. The other one wasn't his fault. That was on Callaway. But the other pick six was. He was staring down both those guys at the time of the throw. If you watch the footage on it, he didn't pump fake left. He just went like this and stared the guy down and went like this. And then the cornerback watched him the whole way, read his eyes right to the ball and picked it off. He's staring guys down, and I called him out for that. I say, ask Dalton why he out there staring down wide receivers. So let's see if hopefully he can learn how to pump fake the damn thing before he throw to the guy. If you're gonna throw to the guy on the right, at least pump fake to the guy on the left, then go to the right. Guys are too good for that. All right. So anyway, man, listen, it's none of these guys are perfect. I like Jameis Winston because you're giving him the money. He's supposed to be your starting quarterback. When he's healthy, he's supposed to play. That's how it goes. The old adage says that an injured player does not lose his job to injuries. If the player get hurt and the guy comes in there and behind him and the guy gets healthy and come back, he's supposed to get his job back. That's the old adage. That old adage full of shit. That done tossed that out with the trash and the old banana peels and everything else. That's all done been thrown out here. Because really, if Winston got the money, 20-something odd $1 million on the deal, he's the starter. So whenever he's supposed to be healthy, he's supposed to play. And Dalton's the backup. So this type of logic here and calling it early like that, and I understand the splitting of the reps right now, but they could still have given Andy Dalton reps in practice and had worked Jameis in slightly, and still they wouldn't have been able to prepare for both of them, but, mix it up, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? And still, then when Friday came, say such and such was going to be, as opposed to just tip your hat early on. But I get what you guys are saying straight up. So none of these guys are perfect, man. Taysom Hill is an impact player, but Taysom does not know enough of the offensive playbook in terms of being a quarterback. So this is a tough situation right here because Jameis, they're saying he's healthy, which he's supposed to start. I don't know what's going on here. But they feel like Andy Dalton gives them a better chance. That is a problem. And that's something that will build over time as the season progresses. Because if Andy Dalton stinks it up in the matchup or stinks it up in the future broadcast or future matchup, do the Saints then turn around and go back to Jameis Winston and set Dalton down? Or do we that type of offense? We offense like that just, we're going to ride the hot hand of the quarterback. And if James come in, he has some good games, and then Jameis struggles a bit, we're going to go back to Dalton. Is that what we're going to do? So it's very interesting watching this Saint club, man. It really is. Anyway, let's go on to this. And this is my final one. And I'm going to end up doing a TSC Unleashed on this one here, family. I know, put one in the chat if you guys seen this one here. This one's from TSZ. It's called Mike Evans. I didn't sign autographs for reps, just talk golf. These guys are liars, man. They're saying that these referees, man, and we've been saying this for a while. And this is Mike Evans said he tried some BS about him signing. He talking about golf with these people. They got a guy called, a lady, was a man or a woman, whoever it was. As you can see, they're in the tunnel as Mike Evans is coming off the field. You can see several referees lauding around in the matchup here. And of course, if you hadn't seen this, watch this. Watch this. Now you tell me, and put 1 in the chat if you can hear this. Now, y'all know how hardcore I am on these referees. Y'all know how hardcore I'm on these referees. I talk about how trash and scum these referees is because this type of behavior is what they do. This is, and the NFL lied about it too. But anyway, listen to this and tell me if they was talking about golf. And of course, that's what I said. Okay, did you see that? They said they were talking about golf. The man signed the referees. Let's run it back. The man signed the referees. The referees got the autographs. Mike Evans is signing their referees' autographs. That's what I said. You seen that? The goddamn gummed referees is getting Mike Evans' autograph. He getting their autograph. One more time. Look at this. The scummy referees are getting the man autograph. Terrible. Awful. It's all coming down, man. Now listen what lying ass Mike Evans say about it.
I wasn't signing my autograph, I'll tell you that.
Look at this lying dog.
I wasn't signing my autograph, I'll tell you that. I talked to a lot of officials. We're all human beings. He's a nice guy. So we're just talking about, golf. That's all we're talking about.
That's why I don't like Tampa Bay. That's why I don't like Tampa. They're a pack of lying dogs, man. You heard what that boy said? That boy said we was talking about a golf. Boy, you don't play no golf, boy. That boy sat up there and told that big fat lie. You can see he was a lying dog because watch his eyes right here. His eyes drop. That let you know that he was lying. That boy, you wasn't talking about no golf. Look at that. Watch his eyes.
I wasn't signing my autograph.
Look, he see, that's how you know it's BS. He looked at the reporter. The reporter asked him, will you sign an autograph? Oh, first of all, and his eyes dropped away from him. He didn't even make eye contact. This some bitch lying. Straight up lying. That's why they just trash, man.
I wasn't signing my autograph, I'll tell you that. I talked to a lot of officials. We're all human beings.
But that gotta do anything.
He's a nice guy.
I talked to a lot of officials. They're nice guys, and you signed his autograph, didn't you?
So we're just talking about golf. That's all we're talking about.
Talking about golf, man. Talking about golf. Talking about golf. And by the way, the NFL said they completed their investigation right here. They cover it. They said the NFL has completed its investigation into whether two referees asked Mike Evans for an autograph. And after speaking to both officials, it was determined the post-game interaction did not involve getting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stars autograph. Video appeared to show Jeff Lambert and Tripp Sutter running up to Evans with a piece of paper and a pen after the Bucs 21-3 loss to the Carolina Panthers, with many assuming they were taking advantage of an opportunity to get his signature. The league has just released a statement on the matter and said, despite what it looks like, the refs weren't hunting for a signature. Okay, that's the lying bastard NFL. Watch right here. Look at your own lying ass eyes, you people out there. All of the great think tank and the people watching the show, you guys' eyes are lying to you. This is not an autograph. The referee said that it was not an autograph, and the NFL said that there wasn't. See what I keep telling you? These people are scum. Look at this. He getting an autograph. Look at him. He's not talking about anything, family. He signs the autograph. He's not saying nothing.
That's what I said.
Man, listen, man. Listen. I'm glad this type of stuff happened. I really am, because it brings light to all the stuff that I be saying, be telling people about these lying dogs. These lying dogs. That man sit up there and lied talking about, we was talking about golf. Boy, are you crazy? Just a liar. And that adds to another reason why I don't like Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a big soft crybaby. That's what Mike Evans is. He's a big, let me add lion too. He's a big soft lion ass crybaby, you know? And think you that stupid to believe that he was talking golf with them damn referees when you can see, I got the picture froze right here, I'm writing the autographs. Oh, you talking golf on the paper? No, he's signing an autograph. The NFL said they talked to both these people and said they wasn't. That's all the investigating you do? So despite what the video shows, obviously the NFL referees are getting a signature from a player they're supposed to be refereeing. That is a bit of a scandal. But I'll cover more of this on the TSC Unleashed show. When I talk more about part 2 of Daniel Snyder against the NFL, I will reintroduce this again on TSC Unleashed. Man, let me tell you something, man. This is trash. Trash. That guy, an autograph, man. The guy's trash. And then he lied about golf. Do you believe that? That's why I don't like Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a big, soft, lying crybaby. When Lattimore be cooking him, he a gutless punk that likes to sneak people. He did that to Lattimore, pushed him in the back twice and then ran after him and pushed him in the back again. That's how he got that soft suspension. And you can see what these guys are doing. I've been saying this for a while, that these referees running around here getting autographs from the players they're supposed to be officiating. That's a conflict of interest, family. For those who might say, Q, what the hell wrong with that? Hell, I get one. The referees, no, dude, no. The referees cannot be getting autographs from the players they're supposed to be officiating. That's a conflict of interest. Because if they can get autographs from the players, they can get something else. You get what I'm saying? And then if that's the case, then you can understand how some of these calls been made badly. But this is showing compromised refereeing here. You running around calling out, getting the officials getting autographs from the people. That's what we doing here. Man, let me tell you something, fam. That boy sit up there and lied about that. Oh, we were talking about golf. Oh, you was talking about golf? You know, and the NFL says, don't believe your lying eyes, not Q. Don't believe your lying ass eyes, Q. Well, despite what that video is showing with Mike Evans keeled over reading his signature, Q. Q, you don't know what you're talking about, sir. Despite the fact that Mike Evans is keeled over on this paper right here, and it looks like he's signing the signature. He's not. He's actually right here at this exact moment talking about golf. It's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing.
I wasn't signing my autograph, I'll tell you that. I talked to a lot of officials, and we're all human beings. He's a nice guy. So we're just talking about, golf. That's all we're talking about.
Lying dog. All right, so anyway, fam, with that being said, I just add that to my list of reasons why I don't like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's another reason why I don't like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because of a soft punk like Mike Evans, who's a liar. He can't even own up to it. Yeah, man, the guy came again. But that will create a scandal. And the NFL will tell you right to your face. That's why I tell you, don't trust nothing they say, because they're a pack of lying dogs, man. This is proof positive. I'm going to cover this more on TSC Unleashed. Anyway, with that being said, Leon says, Big Q, I'm predicting that the NFL Mafia will make this into a golf commercial. Remember, yeah, that's a good point, Leon. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out. All right. So, yeah. So with that being said, fam, listen, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm going to be back, whether it's Thursday or Friday, we'll see. I got a tight schedule for Thursday. But I'm going to try to crank out a show for Thursday. But I got a tight schedule. We got a few things I got to do. for Thursday. We'll see how it all works out. We got a round table coming up soon. I'm probably going to organize it for this weekend, a round table for Saturday. We're bringing a bunch of other family members like Randolph and Till and Hoodie and maybe a few others for another round table to talk about the Saints and what's going on with the Saints. And I'm going to issue out a few more invitations for a few more guys to join up on that Sports Coma roundtable. I haven't done that in a while. It's fun to always do that, to get the family members involved in that. That'll be coming real soon. I have the preview for the Raiders and the Saints matchup coming up as well. Maybe Friday, I think, when we'll break down the game. So got a few things coming up as well. So with that being said, feel free, family, to hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on social media feed. Also, check out the Pro Shop right now, and this won't last for long. We got a store at the shop right now. It's in the community section of the page right now, where you can check out the Pro Shop right now. 30% is off right now at the Pro Shop. You can go there and check it out and get a lot of good discounts right now, baby, if you check out the Pro Shop. Give me a second. Let me see if I can put that link in the chat for the family members so they can check it out, man. So just give me just a second here. But yeah, 30% off on a lot of gear, all of the gear, Pelican gear that we got in for the Saints gear as well, and just regular football style gear. All that is available now at the Pro Shop. 30% off on all items, not just gear. Now, it's not just gear, but it's also coffee cups. It's stuff for your bedroom, stuff for your bathroom, stuff for your kitchen, wall art like pictures, all kind of stuff. It's just too much for me to go over, but it's literally dozens of products at the Pro Shop. I'm about to drop the link for it, family. And hold on here. Let me make sure I put it in. Give me just a second. Yeah, this is 30% off right now. And I don't know how long the sale's going to last, but you know, if you want to help out the stream, you can feel free to hit that link right there to take you right to the shop and check it out. We got stuff for everybody, for the adults, men, the ladies, the chillins, the children, kids, onesies, all kind of stuff, man. It's too much. Underwear, yoga pants, man, anything you can think of, we got it at the Pro Shop, man. So feel free to check that out. So with that being said, man, listen, I appreciate all you guys for chiming in this thing. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I shall return on the Thursday stream as well, and we'll talk more about the Saints football. Listen, don't lose faith in the squad, man. We're going into week 8, and we've seen too much football, family, to just throw out this thing. Let's see how the Saints react to it at a week by week basis, and we're gonna run this thing. So with that being said, I'm gonna holler at y'all on the flip side. Who that to you, and I'm out.
Like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 huh? Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Alvin. I thank God every day I'm not a Falcon. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and who that too.
Daily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com